Tonight's special Virile edition is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. For savings on your web hosting, enter the special promo code JOEY. One guy who used the promo code JOEY was given a free pony by GoDaddy.com, and he kept it for months in his high-rise Las Vegas condo, until it got spooked when they demolished the Old Sands Casino and it galloped right through the picture window, plummeting 43 stories to its death, making a huge splat right on the strip in front of the Circus. A sad end to a proud animal. Thanks, GoDaddy.com. Also sponsored by Hungry Man Frozen Dinners. Deep fried and salty, eat them and sweat like a man. And now, a special Hungry Man-to-Man moment.
Daddy, what's it mean to be a man?
Well, son, I'm glad you asked. You know, being a man is a complicated thing. Perhaps I can best describe it with a little story. Once, way back when I wasn't too much older than you, my father taught me a very important lesson about becoming a man. I had found a butterfly with an injured wing in our yard, and I took that little creature and put it in a shoebox. I poked holes in the side of the box so it could get air, and I provided it with sticks and leaves and a dish of sugar water, all the things that would make that little wounded butterfly feel at home. After a week or so, that gorgeous butterfly was as good as new, so I took the box out into the yard with my dad and lifted off the lid. I slid it out onto the grass, and that little guy pumped his wings and looked up to the brilliant sky. And just as it started to take off, my father crushed it with his steel-toed work boots.
Why'd he do that?
Because that's what being a man is all about. It's about being strong and crushing the things in life that are weaker than you. My dad liked to drink a lot.
Why?
That's enough with the questions for now. Let's just listen to the religious channel on the radio for a while and not talk. Daddy needs to think.
Okay.
And if you want to overcome temptation, you got to realize, number one, you don't belong to yourself, you belong to God.
This man-to-man moment has been brought to you by Hungry Man Dinners.
Infected.
Hello and welcome to Infected, the strongest, most animalistic sperm, stiff-selling its way past the effete, enervated Y-chromosomal flagellate brethren through the hot, moist fallopian tube of digital culture. And when it's the first to reach and fertilize that wanton egg, the child it creates will one day grow up to be the terrifying, merciless king of the universe. I'm Internet's Martin Sargent. And I'm joined, as always, by two of the most lion-hearted, two-fisted guys I know, Joey and the Gator. Hey, what's up, man?
Martin, what's up, man?
Oh, chillin', just being a man, Joe.
Yes.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I mean, everyone is listening to this because they want to listen to Maddox. They don't want to listen to you two rubes. So let's just get right into it.
Well, Congressman Cooper, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, David. Glad to be here.
You know, you look at the New York Times bestseller list and you see things like the alphabet of manliness on there. You're not here to talk about that. You're here to talk about something called the Financial Report of the United States. Give me one good reason not to change the channel right now.
I wish it had a sexier title.
Fuck those drifts, because we do have the author of the Alphabet of Manliness on this show. You also know him as the webmaster of the best page in the universe. Here he is, your hero, Maddox. What's up, old chum?
Not too much, man. Just sitting here doing an interview. What do you
Yeah, well, it's great having you on. And for people who aren't close personal friends with you, like I am, why did you decide to name yourself after fleet-footed Philadelphia Phillies outfielder Gary Maddox?
Other way around. I think he named himself after me.
Is that right?
Yeah, I like to think that he and Angelina Jolie were so enamored with my online...
Were you pissed off when Angelina Jolie named her Cambodian kid Maddox?
Yeah, she named her kid after me. I like to think that she maybe touches herself while she thinks about my writing, which is not an uncommon fantasy.
Yeah, I do, buddy. Yeah. I don't know about your writing, but you know what baseball announcer Ralph Kiner once said about Gary Maddox, and this is why you should have named yourself after him. He said 2/3 of the earth is covered by water, the other 1/3 by Gary Maddox. It's pretty good, huh?
Is that a takeoff of a Chuck Norris fact?
It could be. I think Ralph Kiner actually started the whole Chuck Norris facts thing, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to those guys, but
So at its height, you know, before you got smart and stopped updating your site regularly to pursue things that would actually make you some money, some cabbage, how many people were visiting the best page in the universe on a given day?
normally I get around 110 to 150,000 visitors per day.
And has that gone down recently because you haven't been updating it in a while?
It's gone down a little bit, but not so much. Not as much as you might think, because people really don't care about frequent updates as long as the updates don't suck. That's really important. I mean, there are some websites that update like every single day, like 2-3 times a day. No one cares. Nobody even has that much time to read those websites. So
SargeWorld.com certainly doesn't do that.
Which one?
SargeWorld. You familiar?
I don't know.
That's my website, dick.
Oh.
Hey, what was the most popular entry that you ever wrote?
The most popular one is the children's artwork piece.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one that you're most proud of?
No, but
No?
that one's definitely the most popular. Actually, surprisingly, probably the second most popular one is an article I wrote about the whole Walmart immigration issue, about how immigrants aren't taking our jobs, because it's a two-party system. There's the employer and then there's the immigrant. It's not like they could just come and take jobs. Someone has to give them a job. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So I wrote that article, and that one's actually really popular. I guess it comes up a lot in debates.
Yeah, that's a little too heady for me. I like the children's art one. Like, ding, 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 here comes the shitmobile. I believe that was one of the quotes. That was a hairy fire truck, correct?
Right. Actually, someone at a book signing brought an actual hairy fire truck.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure where the hair came from, but
you know, let's talk about the book signings, because you just actually had you come out with this really popular book. It's called The Alphabet of Manliness. It was what, number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list?
yeah, it got to number 2 on the New York Times bestseller
How
list.
does it feel not being up to number 1? It's kind of a tease, huh?
It feels pretty good because I was shooting for number 2.
You know, this podcast used to be number 1 on all of iTunes.
Oh, does it? Is it really?
It used to be.
About 3 hours.
For about 3 hours, briefly. But number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list, that's not bad. That's not bad. And back last time that we spoke, actually, back when you were a guest on that groundbreaking television program, Unscrewed with Martin Sargent, you were still working for the man. You were working for some telemarketing outfit, right?
Right, I was working for the man.
Has your success with the best-selling book, has that allowed you to leave that dreary world?
Actually, I quit my job a long time ago. I quit my job about 2.5 years ago.
Long time.
Yeah.
Based on what? Were you making money from the website? Because you don't have ads up there.
No ads on my website. I promised I'd never have ads on my website.
Do you wish that you never made that promise?
Yeah, I did make that promise, yeah.
But do you wish that you never did?
What?
Do you wish that you never had made that promise? Because you could have made a lot of money.
Oh, no, I don't wish no, because, I mean, the whole reason I don't have ads on my site is because of self-censorship issues. I mean, I don't want to write something about, say, Ford, for example, and then it turns out that Ford is an advertiser on my website.
So you get Chevy to do it.
What's that?
So you get Chevy to advertise. Who cares?
No, well, there's that temptation to censor yourself, and I don't want that temptation there.
That's very noble.
Yeah, I am very noble, and I think it keeps the writing a little bit more honest that way.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an epidemic. I get emails all the time from newspapers and radio shows and things like that, and journalists telling me that they can't say certain things about the sponsors because they're afraid that their ad revenue will go away, and that's the whole reason they're there, is basically to sell ads.
I don't know anything about that because I've never had any experience with ad revenue. Speaking of being noble, when you made these appearances at the book signings, you wore a king's crown and a king's robes. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah? Why'd you do that, Maddox?
Well, back when Hurricane Katrina happened,
Oh, yeah.
I said I'd make a donation on my website to Hurricane Katrina victims, to the Red Cross specifically, and I donated a bunch of money, and I thought that was very generous of me. And anytime I do anything good, I like to tell as many people as possible. And so I thought that was very righteous, and I photoshopped a picture of myself wearing a crown and a cape, and people bowing in front of me to kiss my hand. And originally I was going to go on a hand-kissing tour, but then I decided I don't want thousands of people kissing my hand.
No, that's filthy.
Yeah, after a week I'd get that like Fight Club kissy growth thing on my hand. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
So the whole crown and the cape thing was a takeoff of that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just a dress code sort of from you, but from what I understand, you had some rules what people who came to the readings had to wear, right?
Oh, right, yeah, I had a whole list of rules, too. They couldn't make direct eye contact with me. They had to stand 3 meters apart from me at all time, or was it 3 feet? I don't know, 3 meters sounds better.
Yeah.
And they couldn't, like, there were a whole bunch of rules. Like if they shook my hand, they would have to stand directly in front of me, pump once or twice, and then step to the side and bow.
Did people actually follow these rules?
Yeah, a lot of people actually did. And I had dress code, too. I told people to wear really nice suits to come to my book signing, and I had all these people show up in, like, tuxedos and...
Did that make you feel kind of sad when people, like, would do your bidding like that? Or did it
I
feel
usually feel
strong
sad when people listen to me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how were you able to sign so many breasts if people had to stand 3 meters from you?
Yes, well, not everyone followed the rules, but I made exceptions when there were women exposing their chests to me.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
How many breasts did you sign during the tour?
I lost count. At one point I was keeping track, but at least 40 pairs of breasts.
So 80 titties.
80 titties, yeah.
Wow. Wow!
Yeah.
That's manly. That's manly, man. It's all coming full circle. What does manliness mean to you? Why is it so crucial to be a man?
Manliness, well, I can tell you what manliness isn't.
Okay.
Actually, to do research for my book, I picked up this book called The Metrosexual Guide to Dressing or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I know it well.
You've read the book?
No, I wouldn't read that shit, but I remember I read some articles about it. I think I heard something on NPR about it.
On NPR, huh? Yeah, there was actually. I think the guy. Yeah, I think I have heard something on NPR about it. But yeah, the guy who wrote that book, like, tells you all about how to be stylish and what kind of music to listen to and how to dress and that sort of thing. And I think that's the very opposite of being a man. I think being a man is about making decisions. And here's this book where this guy's telling you what kind of wine to drink and what kind of music to listen to and how to decorate your home and stuff like that. And that's not very manly. In fact, I don't.
So isn't that the same as you telling people that they have to dress up to come to your signing, though?
Well, that's a rule. I mean, that's a rule of conduct just to be in my presence. That's not, I'm not saying you have to do this to be a man. I'm saying you have to do this to come see me.
Gotcha. So this book, and man, it is really funny. It's funny. My neighbors were like yelling at me last night. I live in a slummy kind of neighborhood, and the houses are very close together. And I was laughing really hard. And this lady like, shut up! But it's really funny. And there's 26 parts, and there's one part for each letter of the alphabet. Each is a meditation, sort of, on an important aspect of manliness. For example, A is for ass kicking, B is for boners, C is for copperfield. Is there any one of those 26 tenets of manliness that you feel is most important?
Most important. One of my personal favorites in the book was the XXX chapter. About XXX obviously stands for porn.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of really good advice in there because I have a lot of experience with porn.
Yeah.
And
what's
and
your
hiding
favorite porn
it
site?
And looking at it and then deleting it.
What's your favorite porn site?
Which website?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really go to websites anymore. Mostly, there's some BitTorrent websites.
Yeah, like Empornium.us. That's the one that my engineer here, Joey, always tells us to go to.
Yeah, I got an account on Empornium. Empornium's a good one. They put it like the good stuff out there now is the homemade stuff that people are uploading. Like
that? The homemade porn torrents. Oh, you like PornoTube and XTube, you know those sites?
No, I haven't seen those.
Oh, check those out. PornoTube and XTube. That's what those are. Those are for people who, they make porn and then it's just like YouTube, only for fucking.
Is that for free?
Nice.
Yeah, it's all free.
Those are the best. You get the jilted lovers, and you get like, most of the videos too have like a little intro. Me and Susan were supposed to get married last summer, but she cheated on me. Payback's a bitch, and then it just it's like a porn.
But the problem with a lot of those is the people they're not porn stars for a reason. They're ugly.
Wrong.
You like that?
There's some hot ass chicks, and besides, the lighting is so bad that you can't really tell, and a lot of times that makes it even hotter because you're imagining it's a hot chick.
Well, I'm definitely going to skip to chapter X of the book tonight.
Yeah.
when all these people leave, except maybe the NPR reporter. Maybe we'll curl up together.
You listen
Yeah,
to,
totally. You could.
I look at a lot of it down at the public library. So I was wondering about deleting. What's the best way to delete?
Did you get that? Or the best way to delete porn?
The best way to delete porn. Well, you just have to make sure that when you delete it, it's not obviously not in the recycle bin. If you really want to cover your tracks, you bust out some old school DOS action, pull up a DOS prompt, and go in and do it with a batch file, and you can get some of these hard drive sweepers and that sort of thing to get it out of the sectors. Because in Windows, when you delete stuff, it's still, it doesn't really delete anything. It just renames it so the computer can't recognize it, but it's still there. You know what I mean?
Is that true?
That sounds complicated. I just have to pour a Slurpee on that computer down at the public
Yeah,
library.
it's actually pretty dangerous. Like, I used to go through at one of my old buddy's computers, and I would open up his hard drive with a hex editor, and you could literally go through the entire hard drive and search for certain keywords. And I'll just say horsecock came up a lot.
Wow, so people actually like looking at that stuff? That's not just some sort of weird stuff that you send your friends. Like, there are people actually whacking it to horsecock.
Well, I don't know. I've never met...
Yeah, you do. You just said your best friend does.
Well, the horse is a beautiful animal.
His alibi is that he used to run a BBS, and people would upload photos of horsecocks to his website. Sure. And what we would do is we'd print it out and bring it to school and tape it to someone's back. So they'd be walking around all day in their classes or whatever. Well, obviously until they get caught with a picture of a horse's dick on their back.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Matt, I'm not going to get all NPR fresh air Terry Gross on you and ask you to read something, but I would like to just read, if I may, the dedication page to your book, The Alphabet of Manliness, because I think it's beautiful.
Sure.
It says, "To the love of my life, my soulmate, and the greatest person in the world, me." That's great. Has anyone, to your knowledge, ever dedicated a book to themselves?
Not to my knowledge. Yeah, I didn't. I don't know anyone else who dedicated a book to themselves. And the reason I did that is because I thought, it would be pretty nice if someone dedicated a book to me.
You figured this was going to be your only chance.
Yeah, who the fuck's going to dedicate a book to me? Let's be honest. But other than me. But now I'm not only an author, but I've also had a book dedicated to me. So that's like two birds with one stone.
That's great. Well,
best-selling author.
One of the things I think that you're known for is you get a lot of emails, and you're very candid in your responses to these emails. You don't pull any punches, correct?
Right.
Well, what we're going to do now then, as we finish up this interview, people knew that you were going to be on the Sarge cast here, and they had some questions for you. So if I read a few of these questions, would you mind answering them?
I'll do it.
All right, here's your first one. If 9/11 wasn't a conspiracy, how come the building went down the way it did? And what about the third explosion? And when are we going to blame this on the real culprits, the blacks?
These 9/11 conspiracy theorists have sucked down so much Kool-Aid. There's no reasoning with them. There's nothing. Here's the logic. Here's the point of delusion that we're dealing with, or the level of delusion that we're dealing with. When I posted my article on my website, the first thing people started doing is they started emailing me and telling me, "Hey, Maddox, I thought you were different, man, but it sounds like you're part of the establishment." And so at first I'm part of the establishment, and now there's actually a conspiracy theory going around that I'm on the inside, that the government paid me to write that article. And so... and then if you think about it, I could even take it a step further and come out and say that the government paid me to write that article, and thereby discrediting that claim. But then, if you think about it, what if the government's paying me to say that they paid me to write that article? You know what I mean? You could just keep going on with this logic forever.
Yeah. Some people might say that the government must be behind you if your book got up to number 2. On the New York Times bestseller.
Got up to number 2 because of sheer awesomeness.
All right, let's go on to another question here. Let's see. Are you a man? Are you some sort of higher being? Or are you really a computer? That's from Silent Shadow 900.
Silent Shadow 900? What a dorky question. Seriously. Maddox, are you a robot? What are these... what are these people? What are these people emailing me for? Like, I get some of these emails in my inbox sometimes too. I don't even know like where to even begin to reply to that. Am I a computer? Wow.
So I guess the answer is no there. How about this one from Rowledge? Do you play Halo?
No, not too much.
All right, let's move on to the next one then.
Yeah.
Why aren't ninjas in your alphabet of manliness? As cool as Chuck Norris is, he could easily have fit into C, and copping a feel could have been similarly shifted.
No, ninjas are pussies, and that's why they're not in my book. Ninjas, I mean, think about a ninja. What does a ninja do? He basically jumps around from tree to tree and prances around like a fairy, and ninjas are really skinny and frail and weak, and they cover their faces because they're pussies and they're afraid of catching cold. Pirates, on the other hand, there's nothing elegant about a pirate. Pirates don't even have both their legs.
What about that Johnny Depp pirate?
Well, that's not. He's not a pirate. That is a lie.
All right, 2 more quick ones. Are you proud of stealing quite a bit of your content from somethingawful.com? That's from Kane.
Am I proud of stealing content from somethingawful.com? Not sure what content that'd be because I've never stolen anything from anyone. There's that rumor going around though, like Something Awful. Like some people like email me every now and then, like, "Hey Maddox, you stole some stuff from Something Awful's forums, man." And I think about it, I'm like, why the fuck would I? First of all, read a forum because I hate forums.
Yeah.
I can't stand them, and let alone like comb through hundreds and hundreds of pages of forums to find content to steal. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy being successful.
All right, and your final question. If a woman has sex with me up the ass, does that make me gay? No, really. I need to know this by this weekend. That's from Morning Bus.
Okay, so if a woman has sex with you in the butt,
Yes.
does that make you gay?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of tricky, isn't it?
That makes you super gay.
I disagree, Maddox.
At least with a guy, I mean, that's somewhat normal, right? At this point, if you're having sex with a guy, that's somewhat normal. But if you're having sex with a guy or a girl, and she's giving it to you in the butt, now that's a whole new genre of gay. That's a whole new level of gay.
I disagree, buddy.
Before we go here, it does say in your Wikipedia article, I don't know if you wrote it or somebody else wrote it about you, that you speak fluent Mandarin Chinese. Is that true?
No, I don't speak fluent Mandarin Chinese. But in
Any?
the book, in the taking a dump section, I said one of the things you can do while you take a dump is learn Chinese. And that's kind of an inside joke, actually, because in my bathroom I have a lot of Mandarin Chinese cards taped up so I can learn Chinese while I'm taking a shit.
Oh, yeah?
You know how to say take a shit
Truth.
in Chinese?
You know how to say take a shit in Chinese?
I don't know.
We
I'm
do.
learning. I'm still working on it. But
Well, Gator here happens to be fluent. What is it, Gator?
The word for shit is da bien.
Da bien.
Wuxia da bien.
You got that? Washia da bien.
Da bien.
That's how you say take a shit in Chinese,
That's
Mandarin.
number 2.
wow, I'll have to listen to the show later and write that down.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
You can say DR.
I'm sure you will.
Number
Hey, Maddox, thank you so much for being on Infected, man.
Thanks, guys.
You have made it onto my list of favorite living Americans. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, for more Maddox and to become a better human being, check out the best page in the universe at maddox.xmission.com and buy a copy of The Alphabet of Manliness and read his new comic book starring himself. It's called The Best Comic in the Universe, and that's exclusively available through your website. Right, Maddox?
Right.
All right. Thanks again, old chum.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. How about that Maddox, huh? Pretty sharp guy, isn't he, Joe?
Something awful bastard.
Yeah? Joey, did you learn anything from Maddox from that interview, from that little discourse we had there?
I learned what it means to be a man.
Did you now?
Yes.
I hope you did, because we're about to play a new game, Joe. That's right, a new game called Joey, is that your trench coat or your vagina I smell?
That Maddox is kind of a hot shot.
All right, Joey, here's how it works. I'm going to ask you a question, and you simply have to choose the right answer. It's multiple choice, okay? And this will determine whether or not you are a man.
It's all me.
It's all you. It's all on you, Joe.
You fucker.
Answer.
You must
You gotta
answer
answer it
truthfully.
truthfully, Joe.
All right? Here is your first question, Joey.
Our infected
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the computer determined these, so we know what's right and wrong. Here's your first question. When Joey is at the gas station, Joey pumps his gas into A, a Ford truck, B, a Land Rover, C, a Ferrari Testarossa, or D, a filthy 87 Mazda hatchback with 3 disemboweled hard drives in the back seat, 16 empty Mellow Yellow cans, and a half-eaten bag of tostadas on the passenger side floor, and a broadsword and elf costume in the trunk for his weekend role-playing game in San Bernardino. Joey, what's your answer?
You already know it. Actually, the correct answer is none of the above, because it's actually an 89 hatchback with all the above, you motherfucker.
Oh, okay. The computer had a glitch, but it is D. Here is question number 2. When Joey goes to the movies, does Joey A, see a gritty action picture, B, always have a hot date on his arm, C, stay at home instead and watch ESPN to avoid the crowds, or D, camp outside the Cineplex 2 weeks before the new Lord of the Rings premieres, dressed as an orc and playing a shitload of Magic the Gathering with the other virgins to pass the time? What's your answer, Joe?
You can't beat my red deck of magic, so obviously it's D.
That is correct! That is the correct answer, Joe, and here we move on to your final question.
Pickles.
When Joey goes on vacation, does Joey A, go to spring break in Cancun, B, go to a fantasy baseball camp in Florida, C, hunt big game in Africa, or D, go to a Star Trek convention in Toledo, Ohio, dressed as a tiny bird-like Klingon, and spend all weekend trying to get the pants of a 400-pound Ferengi princess from Ames, Iowa, never getting past first base, which in Ferengi terms is nuzzling the bulbous skin flaps on her forehead.
Well, hey.
Joey, what's your answer?
The answer is D, but hey, it's not 400-pound women. The Dabo girls from the Ferengi universe are fucking hot. You have no idea what you're missing.
Joey,
no idea. No idea.
I don't know what I'm missing, but I know that you did not miss one question. You were 3 for 3, my friend. Very good. And with that, Joey needs to lock himself in the bathroom and polish his broadsword. We'll be right back with Johnny O'Banion and his view from the canyon right after these words from our sponsor.
Joey.
Dead to me.
This special Virile edition of Infected is brought to you by Hungry Man Frozen Dinners. Deep fried and salty, eat them and sweat like a man. And now, a special Hungry Man-to-Man moment.
Get it all down now, boy. Even the chicken steak.
Daddy, why do we always only eat Hungry Man dinners?
Because this is what God provides us. If you don't want to eat anymore, you can sit in the back of the van and wait for me to finish. I, for one, appreciate what God gives me.
Where are we going today?
Well, I thought we'd drift down through Sparks, Nevada, and head due north out into the desert.
Why?
I need to find some people I used to know back before Daddy found Jesus.
What kind of people?
I'll know them when I see them, but they won't know me. No, they wouldn't know me in a million years. Get down, boy, get down. That was a police cruiser.
Why do you hate police?
They are godless, and they clog my receptors. Now, no more talking. Finish up your chicken steak and let's get this van on the road.
Daddy, why are you naked with a wolf mask on?
Just eat your Hungry Man dinner, boy. All things will be clear in time.
This man-to-man moment has been brought to you by Hungry Man Dinners.
Infected.
Let's get down to business, to defeat the heart. Did they send me daughters when I asked for stars? You're the saddest bunch I've ever met, but you came back before we're through. Mr. I make a man out of you.
Welcome back to the Infected Virile Edition. I think I've started growing hair on my back since we started this thing. It's gotten more apish than manly, I'm afraid. Smacks of simian.
Kind of like a retard with a unibrow. That's what I become here.
I think I got a club foot.
Well, you know what's manly? We can't have a show about manliness and virility without a word from our entertainment reporter, Johnny O'Banion, and his view from the canyon. Johnny?
And welcome to View from the Canyon with Johnny O'Banion. Hello, this is Johnny O'Banion coming to you live with the tippity top of lovely Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles, California, with all the entertainment news you need to know. Everybody knows a lot of pretty, vicious palominos run, place, and show in the Stardust Rodeo. We're talking bite, spit, cancer, kick, look out! Horse up to the face! Those precious porcelain teeth are flying skyward. Gobbets of ropey red mouth blood splattering on the cold and fickle pavement of the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Yes, this business called show is a geared-up, diamond-studded meat grinder. And every little California dreamer is like a fragile Irish harp. Toss them in the thrashing metal gears and crying all the pretty music stops and you're left with a deconstructed, shrieking metal groans of the broken and the dispossessed. Yes, light up the sky with the party torches, cut a bougainvillea branch, and make yourself a festive funeral wreath for your own innocence. Because there's one rule in the glitter bowl. Learn it, know it, tattoo it on your face, carve it in your alabaster bedpost. You've got to be the alpha! Never back down! Go for the throat, go for the strongest guy in the room, take him down, drop kick him, rip out his heart and flame roast it, harvest his kidneys, sell his brain to the red Chinese, hollow out his feet and make him to a pair of Cuban-heeled Hollywood highboy fuck you boots, cause here in the canyon we know what it means to party! Newsflash! Today we're gonna shake up a tumbler of trouble juice, flick the safety off the Glocks, unchain the cougar, and get down to brass tacks Laurel Canyon style with Hollywood hotshot and manliness icon himself, Michael Alfie Caine. Yes, Michael Caine, London Wonder Man, star of one of the manliest films ever made, the teenploitation 80s sex flick, Blame It on Rio. Have you seen that picture? Holy Tom Berenger's ghost. How does a jaundiced, jowly, gingerhead, bug-eyed British freakfester like Mickey Caine get a buxom, bubbly girl like the one of that Technicolor train wreck of a picture? How? Because Michael Caine will kick your jaw loose and beat you with a bone till the molars fly through the air like so much popcorn at a celebrity-studded Hollywood film premiere! Yes, chicks dig the Caine. So look out, Hollywood Nancy boys. Caine may be weird-looking and fat, but he wears a cravat, and he's a genius. And that is the View from the Canyon. So, Michael, what does it take to be a man in this town?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, it would be quite nice if everyone would just wear velvet or dress in, like, rainbow-type colours and skins and bones and things like that. And also, I do believe that if everyone would stop wearing this goddamn fashionable designer denim jeans, then the whole bloody town would be a little bit nicer to live in. I'm talking little bits of muir in the hair, maybe feathers and fur and bones.
Hey, righteous! So, Michael Caine, ever kill a panther? Yeah. Okay. Hey, ever chew through chain to free yourself from jail?
Yeah, I've done that.
Michael Caine, dwarves, can they ever be manly?
They've got to have quite a bit of pride and heart.
Okay, Michael Caine, last question from the Johnny O. Would you rather die by fire or by being eaten by supernatural goat-like creatures that can fly? Hellish, hoofed monsters who moan and shriek in the nighttime like so many souls desperate for a final reckoning, a place in the ledger books where they may at long last mark their sins and be freed from the ever-darkening half-world where all is hunger, all is horror, all is shining black obsidian.
I'm never going to die. When my time comes, I'm going to be taken away in a giant spaceship to a place called Alpha Romeo. It's in a different galaxy far away. And in that place, I'm going to reign on a throne made of ice and gold. And I'm going to have a monkey on my knee named Otto. And I'm going to have a parrot. And I'm going to be a pirate king. It's going to be like Madagascar.
Hey, groovy. I like the sound of that. And thank you so much to Michael Caine. This is Johnny O'Banion with a View from the Canyon. Thanks for listening.
Wow. You know, it was nice. It was nice hearing Johnny, like, actually talking to another human being, interviewing Michael Caine like that.
It's good that Johnny's getting out a little bit, I think, for Johnny's sake.
Johnny O'Banion is smack plumb fucking out of his mind. But I love him, man. He's crazy.
He's good people. He's good people. I love Johnny O'Banion. Johnny, thanks very much. Much love, brah. Much love. And Mike Cain's pretty cool, too. Old Mickey Cain there. Anyway, that really is going to have to do it for this special Infected Virile edition. No! For Joey and the Gator, this is
Martin, man. Martin.
Yeah?
Tell us a story.
That Maddox interview.
I won't be able to sleep unless you tell me a story.
The Maddox interview went really, really
Martin,
long.
please. Don't make me damn beg.
All right. I guess we have time for one short story.
Yay.
This is the story of Dino, the computer lab bully. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Dino who terrorized all the other children in his class when they went to the school computer lab every Tuesday and Thursday at 10:35 a.m. Dino, even though he was only in the 6th grade, was a big brute of a boy, standing some 6 feet tall and weighing nearly 300 pounds. Part of the reason he was so huge is that he loved sitting on his ass in front of the computer, playing World of Warcraft, messing around on MySpace, and all sorts of other unspeakable things that a boy his age should not be engaged in. Dino was generally well behaved and friendly with the other children, but when it was his class's turn to file down the hall single file to the computer lab, something inside his gargantuan frame always snapped, and he went berserk. You'd think that his teacher, Miss Cherry, would have disciplined Dino, but unbeknownst to all the children, she was having a torrid lesbian love affair with the woman who ran the computer lab, Mrs. Jackson. So the children were pretty much unattended to whenever the lab session started, and the two frothing ladies left them on their own and snuck off to the janitor's closet to polish each other's brooms. "Okay, class," shouted Dino, "this is my computer lab, and I get to use the new Core Duo Mac. You all do what you want to on those 3 glitchy P2s.
"But Dino,"
protested Amal,
I need to use the Mac to finish editing the movie I made of my grandmother when she visited from Egypt."
In one swift motion, Dino grabbed a mouse, swung it about his head like a wheat flail, and smacked Amal so hard in the back of his head that a tiny trickle of pink spinal fluid began coming out of his ear.
I think I need to go see the nurse,"
whimpered Amal, and with that, the class let Dino have his way with the new Mac as they all shared the loudly whirring, groaning, and nearly fire-starting P2s, making crappy Christmas cards they'd be ashamed to give anyone with an outdated version of Print Shop. When Amal, dizzy and barely able to walk, finally made it to the nurse's office to call his dad to come pick him up, his dad, who was a systems engineer for the NSA, asked him why there was spinal fluid trickling from his ear. When Amal told him, he said, "Okay, son, give me 20 minutes.
"But Dad," said Amal, your office is only 15 minutes from here."
"I know, son," said Amal's dad, "but I have something I need to take care of real quick." What Amal's dad needed to take care of was hacking into Dino's home computer, where he found that Dino had been looking at a positively horrifying amount of pornography involving possums and small Irish children. Not to mention, he had spent hours searching various food sites for quiche recipes. And thanks to Amal's dad's computer knowledge, with a few swift keystrokes and mouse clicks, all of this mind-bending content showed up on the screens of those 3 threadbare P2 computers, along with a picture of Dino's fat, naked, hairless body dipping his ass into a still warm quiche. When Amal's father arrived at the school to pick up his crippled son, he didn't take him directly to the car, but carried him to the computer lab, out of which there were coming the high-pitched sounds of about 20 children laughing uncontrollably, and one other child sobbing. "Son, when I open this computer lab door, you will see why internet can be so dangerous for young boys." And when the door flung open, Amal got a real eyeful, and also the spinal fluid miraculously stopped trickling from his ear as he looked down at Fat Dino sobbing as he writhed on the ground in front of the new Mac, all the children pointing and laughing. "And son," said Amal's dad as he carried him towards the car, "I don't want you to think that computers are always dangerous for young boys. They can also be wonderful." Just then, Amal's dad flung open the door to the janitor's closet, revealing 2 women in the hot, passionate throes of unbridled lesbian sex, replete with janitorial supplies stuck in and smeared upon their prone bodies, such as an industrial plunger and that weird cat litter-like stuff they use to scoop up kid vomit. What you are seeing now is bountiful, ripe fruit of internet, there for the plucking.
I love you, Dad,
said Amal. I love you too, son, said Amal's dad. Now, let's go home. The end.
I didn't really understand that story.
I don't know.
What didn't you get?
Your stories make me cry.
Well, it was a happy story.
The
bad guy got his comeuppance.
Granted,
Amal and his father have a wonderful relationship. They grew closer.
I missed a little bit of the middle.
Yeah, because you went and shat in my bathroom.
Well,
right when I was telling the story.
Your house has that power, and you know that.
Was that kind of an Indian accent you were doing there?
No, it was Egyptian.
Well, it showed.
Egyptian.
It was Egyptian. Well, that really is all the time we have for this special Infected Virile edition. For Joey and the Gator, this is Martin Sargent reminding you, don't get ripped by the Riptide. Thanks to Maddox, Johnny O'Banion, and GoDaddy.com. We'll see you at the bar.
If you're still listening now, you're infected. In fact, you always have been infected. The moment you even thought about turning this on and listening to it, you were infected. I think now you should either go down and fill up a little baby pool, maybe drag it out in the backyard, lay down into it, with your clothes on or off, it doesn't matter, just lay there very still, let the water slosh around and wash over you, put your head down in there so it gets really quiet, and just think about what you've done. Think about how damn infected you actually are. Infected.
Infected was written by Martin Sargent, J. Speiden, and Stewart Engesser. Joseph Claude Philippe Venus Williams Rabier on controls. For more, go to sargeworld.com and be sure to watch our other show, Webdrifter, at revision3.com/webdrifter. Also, join us on MySpace at myspace.com/infected by Martin Sargent. Be a man. Be a man.
Joey. Yes. Joey, I love you.